Welcome back. I'm Calvin Statue Fanatic for another review and semi-unboxing because I'm not going to show the whole thing. But I got my third Quarter of the Dead piece, and those of you who have been watching some of my reviews know that I've really gotten into this Quarter of the Dead thing, and these are some amazing pieces. And so this is Gethsemoni. And this is actually the second one that they produced of this particular character. She is the leader of the flesh faction. We'll talk about that more. But this is the smallest box that I think I've ever gotten from Sideshow with a quarter scale statue in it. So let's get this unboxed. Wow, I've never gotten anything packaged from Sideshow like this as a shipper box, but let's see. Got a big hit there on the side of it, but what's most important is that the statue's okay, right? And then here, beautiful artwork on the box. Well, here you have her. She's out of the box. Just going to take a look at the box. It's got some beautiful art on it of her, which is really cool. But that's all I'm going to say about that part of it. But what's really cool about this box, look how small it is. This, a dozen pieces, quarter scale statue was in here. It came unbroken, all of that in a box that really is this small. And even the shipper was tiny, super tiny. If they can keep doing this, wow, that's a feat in its own. That is, I'm just blown away. Yep, that's the box. This is Gethsemoni from the Quarter of the Dead line from Sideshow. All I can say is wow. This has got to be one of the most beautiful quarter scale statues that I've ever gotten. This piece is just magnificent. I'm gonna ramble on probably because I was just blown away. Even the unboxing of this just blew my mind. The beauty of this particular statue. It stands about 21 inches tall, and it's approximately 9 inches in depth and length. She is my third Quarter of the Dead statue, and probably until her, Malefestros was my most favorite one so far, and so now I'm pretty sure Gethsemoni has taken his place. Both pieces are absolutely amazing. Now, Gethsemoni is one of the characters that has been assembled as part of the Quarter of the Dead. She's the leader of the faction, the flesh faction. She's also the daughter of death, and it's a really entwined story in terms of what her relationship is to him. She is the feeling and perception to him of what humans are. He has a difficult time, I can use the word empathizing, but he has a difficult time understanding the connections that humans have. He has a difficult time understanding what it is that makes humans human, deeper than their physical being. And she is connected in some way to be able to be that part of him where he can see that and where he can feel that. She's not all good. Don't get on her bad side, or you will regret it if you ever got on her bad side. She embodies the beauty in a different way that the rest of the inhabitants of the world of the Court of the Dead do not. She is definitely a very interesting character that you might want to pick up the comics, read a little bit about it. They've got a graphic novel out where she is one of the main characters in it as well. And she's definitely an amazing character in the comics. Now, let's get to the statue. This statue is almost, in my opinion, flawless. I mean, it is just absolutely gorgeous. The pose of it is amazing. The sculpt and detail is just off the charts. The paint application on it is just immaculate. And I think Sideshow does the best job with their Court of the Dead line as opposed to any other line that they put out. And they've put out a lot of really good stuff. But when it comes to the quality of these pieces so far, they have been absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm having a hard time to decide where to start with her, but I guess we'll start with just doing a once around so that you can get a sense of what she looks like. This is the exclusive edition of her. She comes 300 pieces in the exclusive edition, and I'll show you what makes her exclusive here in a minute. And the regular edition is 750, I think, pieces in the regular edition. Both are still available. Sideshow's website says there's a little stock remaining of her. She's actually the second statue that Sideshow has done of her. I like the first one a lot, but I'm really happy that I waited and got this one and not the other one because I really like this one better. Now, as I've turned her around, now we'll talk about the exclusive part just here for a second. She comes with two arms, two right arms, and one of the arms, like you can see here, she's clutching a dagger, and the companion piece to that dagger is an empty dagger sheath that the dagger goes in. But if you wanted to take this arm off and put the other arm on, you can also take out the empty dagger and put the one where the dagger holder has the dagger actually in it. And they've sculpted it in such a way, so you need to be careful that her hand is actually about to pull it out. You can see that here. So that's what makes her exclusive. I happen to like the display the other way, with the empty holster here for the dagger and the arm with her clutching the dagger to her breast, like that. Now, that's why it's exclusive. It comes with that. Now, as far as the sculpt of this is concerned, it is really hard to start anywhere because if you start up here with her hair, what blew me away about that is that her hair is braided, cornrow braided, whatever you want to call it. And you can see every individual strand of her hair that's braided. It looks like amazing. On the back here, you can see the same thing. Her hair where the braids come out. And if it doesn't show up on camera, on live, I'll show some pictures and you can see the braids coming here and underneath here. It just looks amazing. The detail and sculpt in that is just awesome. Now she's wearing this headdress. I can't really describe it, I can't describe what it is, but all I can say is that the detail in it is amazing and it makes her look awesome. You can see all of the detail here in this and the sculpting and around here. What I guess you could call it is some type of crown, if you would. Her eyebrows, the sculpting looks amazing on her eyebrows, and the hair that's sculpted down the side of her face looks amazing. The neck piece that she's wearing, as you can see, has a lot of detail and sculpting. There's some type of emerald ruby or something like that that's in there that looks amazing. You can see the skull that's in there. Looks like a brass piece, and I'll get to that in a minute, but looks like a brass piece there. See the crease in her neck when she turns her neck and leans it to the side. The sculpting is just amazing. The frown lines around her face and then her eyelids, how they're sculpted, looks absolutely just incredible. Very, very, it's really nice when a collector gets a piece that they just love, and there's this love affair. You just get it and you're like, wow, and this is one of those pieces for me. And then the breastplates that's covering her breast, lots of detail. There's something that scared me a little bit here, and it wasn't the breast. Anyway, it was this chain that's hanging right here. It looks like it's metal, and it looks so delicate. They had a piece of paper behind it. I was scared to death pulling it out. So this is one that I definitely won't be doing a whole lot of posing and arranging and things like that, because I don't want to break any of these chains that are hanging. She has tons of chains. There's one that's a drift going around her midsection here that's drifting down just below her navel, and it has this skull that's on here, and if you turn it around you can see the sculpted in the detail that goes all the way around there. With that, more detail and sculpt in this dagger holster, the strap that's holding it on her leg, amazing. These look like shin guards of some kind. Also tons of detail and sculpt in it, and it just looks phenomenal. And her toenails are painted and sculpted. Her feet, on her feet you can see the veins that are like just, I mean, it looks realistic the way that looks. And then on the back, excuse me, and then on the back you have where her foot is like bent backwards. You can see her toe. And then when I was putting in the base, there's an imprint of the back of her foot in the base, which was pretty cool. They did that, I guess, to make sure you know how to put it on, because the way the peg is on her foot, you can actually, it looks like it could go either way. As you get into this well of souls is what I think this is, just like on the death statue. You see all of these souls that are conjuring up around her, swirling up around her. You can see where she's taken her left hand and almost pulled a piece of the soul out of the well, or has pulled a number of the souls out of the well. Just fantastic, just amazing. She's got these gauntlets, arm plates up there. This right here, the around her biceps, just all the detail on that. The knife that she's holding, the dagger, it's just straight up amazing, all the way around. Now, as far as design is concerned, again, she has these chains that's giving this really gothic and just the appropriate look for the type of character that it is. And then her cape or skirt or whatever you want to call it is extremely posable, and I like that because it allows me to pose it if I wanted to, so that you can see the knife when it's, or the empty holster there. You can actually pose it so that you can see the souls behind it. It looks really fantastic. You may be able to just take that off altogether, but I'm not going to do that at all. Don't think that's how that's supposed to be displayed. I won't even try that. Now, that was sculpt and design, pose, all just amazing. This will be one of those statues that I think I'm definitely going to rate. Now, as far as the paint application is concerned, nailed it. I'm looking, and I've been looking for a while to find a flaw, very, very closely. Now, with these close-ups, there may be something I'll see once I go back and look at these close-ups. But as far as what I can see now, can't see any mistakes whatsoever. Eyes, painted exquisitely. They almost look real the way they're painted. Love her eyes. All of this section here kind of looks like there's just no paint touching anything that it shouldn't be touching. It almost as if it was painted as a separate piece and then glued there. Just looks spectacular. The breastplate here that she's wearing, the same thing. And this I think is a separate piece that was painted. It may not be sculpted, because I can see it. It's raised off of her body just at the back. So it may have been painted separately. And if that's the case, then that's why it looks so amazing. But this was not separate, and it was painted. And then her flesh and this, I can't see any mingling of that whatsoever. At least not with the naked eye. I'll look, and if it takes this much to find a flaw, this is a home run. The same thing with the around her thigh, the belt they're holding, the dagger, nothing there. The tonality in her legs, I love that too. I forgot to mention that, both about her midsection and her legs. I mean, she's extremely toned. I like that. That's cool. And her back as well, the sculpt of her back, extremely toned. I forgot to mention that. The neck piece that she's wearing, again, sculpted well, but painted amazingly. The rings are on a finger. I can't see any mistakes on that either. The same thing with all of this. The paint application on it looks fantastic. And then her toenails painted well. And then this well of soles painted. They were trying to give you that misty look, like as if it's like, you know, smoky almost coming up. This just looks great all around. And there are so many details on this statue until it's one of those statues, again, I call them my Where's Waldo statues, where when you look at it, you're always going to find something that you didn't see before, because as I talked and look at this now, there's things that I didn't see. And the one thing that I did not talk about was the tattoo on her back. Now, we've seen Sideshow do this the wrong way, in my opinion, when they just use these decals to put on the back. Now, if this is a decal, there's no way in hell you can tell. So I'm thinking it's a paint out. And in fact, I'm pretty sure probably, no, I don't know, but whatever decal they're used on this one here, as opposed to some of the other times I've seen them do this, I can't see that I can't see the decal part of it. It looks like it's painted, and it looks like a tattoo. She has these dots all over too, the tattoo type things. That's about all I have for this particular piece. I guess what I can do now is just rate the statue. And we typically do things like sculpt, design, packaging, and value. So as far as the packaging is concerned, I'm gonna give it a 10 because of the size of the box. That was just, thank you, Sideshow, fantastic. The sculpt and design, guys, another 10, I'm gonna say. The paint application, again, a 10. And then the value, the statue is $470 for the statue, is under $500. So I'll go with, as far as value for what you're getting here, a 9.5. How about that? So this is a beauty. It's a keeper. Definitely pick it up if you are a Court of the Dead fan. Now, they also have comics and other material that support this line of characters that they're doing. So if you want to like know more about it before you actually picked up one, please do that. And that concludes my gushing review of Gethsemoni from the Court of the Dead. And if you want to stay on top of the latest in the world of collecting, please head over to mcecentral.com. That's Marvel's Collectible and Entertainments, where you can find some of the latest reviews and unboxing of some of your favorite pop culture characters, including comic books, 1/3 statues, you name it, it's all there. And also make sure you don't forget to subscribe so that you can be notified the next time I upload a video. And so until next time, my friends, peace.